Can everyone hear Lawrence? We'll do a quick check. Lawrence, over to you.
And can you hear me now? Hello? Yes? No? Hello? Hello?
We can hear you, Lawrence.
Ah, okay. Thanks. All right, let's get into it. Hi, good morning. My name is Lawrence Ennis. I am the current chair of the JETAA International. I was in Sasakawa, Nagasaki from 2008 to 2013. And I'm excited for this opportunity to meet you all and share what JETAA has been up to.
Perfect. And for those who have not met me yet, am I hearing my own voice or is it me? All right, I'm Ty, and I'm the current vice chair of JETAA International. Who has not heard of JETAA yet? Raise your hand, don't be shy. Because no worries, that's why we're here. Also known as JETAA, JETAA International has existed since the late 1990s and is an umbrella organization representing JET alumni from all over the world. Today, we'd like to give you a quick overview of the relationship between JETAA International and the various chapters. Are people online hearing okay? Lawrence, can you hear me? Good?
Yes.
Perfect.
There's a lot of back and forth. So
we're only doing one switch midway.
Just if you ask people to talk, we have to turn the speaker.
Ah, got it. Back to programs. Thank you, guys. In order to achieve this, we have been striving hard to consult, collaborate, and support the chapters we've been working with to bring this goal to life. JETAA International comprises of member countries and their country representatives. For the moment, there are 17 countries with over 50 chapters amongst them, representing a total of over 75,000 alumni around the world. I say for the moment, because we are currently going to be reviewing an extra new chapter from Philippines. It's going to be a full chapter. In terms of leadership, there are two elected executive officers, chair, Lauren, and the vice chair. In addition, there is an appointed webmaster, and we are all supported by a board of advisors who are selected by the executive officers. I'd like to introduce you to our current team. In addition to Lawrence and myself, we have Eden in Australia as our webmaster. There are currently 4 members on our board of advisor. Matt and Ryan are in the room. Cheryl is in Singapore, and Logan in Hokkaido is the Director of Alumni Association in National AJET, Alumni Relations in AJET. In general, before that, here are our 17 country reps. 19 country reps. Thank you. And for the next section of the presentation, we'd like to provide highlights for the chapter activities around the world. In general, the common areas of focus for all chapters include supporting the JET program, alumni, and increasing awareness of Japanese culture. We consider these activities the JETAA flagship events, like the JET info sessions, our pre-departure orientations, and the multitude of the Japanese cultural events we do throughout the year. Focusing on the past year, as COVID restrictions eased, chapters began holding small in-person events. And nowadays, many of the flagship events are also coming back in person or hybrid. And the hybrid actually included, we've learned around the world, some chapters have been doing a hybrid for the pre-departure orientation as well. Some countries, like the Philippines, actually continue to organize virtual events as their mainstay. For Philippines geographical reasons, they're very spread out. So in addition, there's been a return to in-person multi-chapter conferences after 3 years of online conferencing. For 2023, the first one was held in July in Singapore. Last month, we had CanCon in Ottawa. We're currently in NatCon right now. Next month, Oceania is planning their conference in Melbourne. And we also got word that UK conference was announced during the 2023 AGM, and we look forward to hearing more as that develops. On the flip side, we have heard that chapters of worldwide face common challenges. First, many chapters struggle with member engagement. This is all, and leader retention. And for some chapters, because it's shorthanded with this leadership, it results in a lack of motivation or capacity to organize events. Thirdly, maintaining a consistent level of support with our Japanese partners through staff transitions. Over the years, we noticed there's rotation. And last, from the country reps, we've heard that some of them are their capacity is taken over by like a major event that they're being pulled into. And so they're not able to work on other initiatives. So yes, we're all facing all these challenges, but fear not, you're not alone. This is where JETAA aspires to play a role in creating a forum to discuss and make things better. We are the furoshiki that ties the chapters together and connect it all back to CLAIR. So what do we do as an international organization? There are 5 core roles and function: fostering collaboration and relationships, as well as communication, supporting JET and JETAA activities worldwide, organizing the JETAA International meeting, and supporting new chapter development and recognition. All the above activities exist to support and promote the growth of alumni chapters around the world, in addition to acting as a point of contact to other organizations and government bodies like CLAIR and MOFA. With this, we aim to foster a greater sense of community around the world for all JET alumni. Here are some projects JETAA are involved with, which aim to engage, sustain, and train the JET alumni. We will go into further details on some of these later. Our unique role as an umbrella entity means we are focused on tasks that are larger than any one country. At times, what we do may not even be evident to alumni in general, but is very visible to CLAIR and the Japanese government, which highlights the value of the JET program. That said, because JETAA is an international organization, there are certain things we cannot do, such as enforcing rules and penalties or provide grant and funding. For the final section of this presentation, we will run through some recent highlights, challenges, and current action items. Over to you, Lawrence.
Okay. In 2022, the JETAA leadership team spent most of the year planning the international meeting, which was held last November. Conference topics were based on the feedback from interviews with the country reps, including onboarding roles, collaboration, working group deliverables, and we have taken that feedback and continued to work on them for improvement. The other large piece of work was the bylaw review, which was successfully adopted at the international meeting with no major objections. Next up, we have some highlights. Increased communication with CLAIR. As part of the IM planning, JETAA met online with our CLAIR counterpart on a monthly basis. Even after the IM, we continued these monthly meetings. At our last meeting, CLAIR shared a new video they created about the JET program roles and requested that alumni chapters should check it out and share on their social media platforms. A link to this will be placed at the end of the presentation. Next, we have chapter support. We have regional online gatherings for country reps to meet and discuss issues and successes, as well as chapter development. And as Ty mentioned, we have the Philippines, and in addition, we have Switzerland as a new associate chapter. As for post-secondary projects, we continue the promotion of existing opportunities, and we are always looking for new ones. So if you have, please let us know. And last but not least, KJK. Recently, Matt and I went on a promo tour to Japan, where we visited 7 prefectural offices in 5 days. Those included Toyama, Osaka, Hyogo, Kochi, Ehime, Kumamoto, and Nagasaki. And since then, follow-up emails were sent, along with flyers about the program, one targeted to JETs and the other to the prefectural offices. And so far, the flyer was displayed at the Tokyo orientation. Next up, we have the challenges. JETAA faces similar challenges to chapters in terms of trying to engage and serve our membership, like how we tried to restart our various working groups that went on hiatus, particularly during the COVID period, as well as figuring out how to sustainably pursue our core objectives and bringing in new people to help carry on the work. We have noticed in recent years that there have been a steady increase in workload due to various reasons, coupled with a limited interest in new officers stepping into the international arena. What's next? As for the growing workload we just mentioned, there are 6 areas we are focusing our energy on. First and foremost, it's chapter support. Then we have the action items following the international meeting and the projects we developed in that meeting. Next, we have the tech help desk. If anyone has useful ideas or technologies that may be beneficial to chapters, we would love to hear about it and help share it. Or conversely, if you have a challenge and you would like to pose this question or challenge to other chapters, feel free to reach out and we'll help in any way we can. We also have the video contest revival that CLAIR recently posted on their website, the JET program website. The video contest was proposed during our last international meeting. They have taken it up, and we would like to include a couple of the categories that they have decided upon. You'd see those on your screen. Ishokenme, which is once in a lifetime experiences. Ichigo Ichie, give it all you can. And Kacho Fugetsu, beautiful nature. That is the way that they described those to us and how they want people to interpret the videos and submit. More information on that later on. And Kenjet Kai once more is a project aimed at connecting alumni with their home prefectures. If you have not joined the Kenjet Kai page, please do so now. Feel free to scan. These are a summary of the links that we mentioned earlier on. And in closing, we believe these conferences and international meetings and regional meetups are extremely valuable and contribute directly to our efforts in creating sustainable chapters. Engage. We strongly believe in sharing our successes, struggles, and failures with each other. These meetings give us the opportunity to do so. Sharing our experiences make it easier and increases the chances of others learning from us. Sustain. Following that last point, documentation, sharing of procedures and concepts, make it an easier sell for recruitment and execution. No one should have to reinvent the wheel every time they assume a post. As for training, we can only suggest you incorporate all you have and all you have learned over this weekend and during your time in your post to pass it on. Make sure you document everything and keep refining so that every step will be as easy as reading from a handbook. All of the above requires work, but are well worth it in the end. If you have any questions, please let us know. I don't know if we have time for questions, but that brings us to the end of our presentation.
Behind time. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Brandon Wallace and I'm the Canada country rep. I have a very limited time, so you're going to get a crash course in Canada, JETAA. So I won't go into my personal bio, but I will say that I consider myself somewhat of an American because I studied for 2 years in New York City. And my wife is also American from Virginia. She actually studied at Middlebury College. She did the language intensive course in French for 8 weeks, and then she went to the Paris campus for a year. So I was in Hyogo Prefecture from 2011 to 2013, and my host chapter is JETAA Ottawa. So I was the former president of JETAA Ottawa, vice president, co-vice president, and now I'm the senior advisor. I work at the Embassy of Japan, so closely with MOFA, which is very helpful for JETAA Ottawa, certainly. And I would also like to mention, this is not JET related technically, but one of the many opportunities available to the general public, something called the Ship for World Youth, the Seinen no Fune. This year, I participated on this program. It's 11 different countries. It's run by the Cabinet Office of Japan. So the countries participating rotates. So America, I assume, will be invited to participate at some point. And when this opportunity becomes available, you yourselves should consider participating or at least promoting it to your members. It's a great program. It pays for your trip to and from Japan. Typically,
they're saying they, I don't know if they can hear you. I think, can you ask if they can hear you? Sorry. Where is?
Go to the more. Go to more. Chat.
It shows unmuted, but the screen is, they can hear.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. I'll just talk louder. So the Ship for World Youth, the Seinen no Fune, is an opportunity. It's a great chance to see Japan in a different way. It's an exchange program. So I just urge you to look into this program and participate, or at least promote it to your members. This was me and the Canadian delegation in February in Japan. I also met Princess Kako on this visit and Prime Minister Kishida. So I won't go over the country rep elections. We do have elections, though, and it is not usually competitive. So I don't know the reasons necessarily, and I don't know how competitive your elections are, but I do encourage people to run, of course. I think competitive elections, there's nothing wrong with that. May the best man win. Or woman, sorry, yes. Or they, them. So in terms of JETAA Canada promotion initiatives and programs, obviously the country rep anywhere will provide chapter support. Always interested in doing more inter-chapter events. And one thing that I am focused on myself is a membership discount card, something that gives incentives for businesses to provide discounts or some sort of incentive to JET alumni. Canada is the #3 participating country in JET after the US, the UK, and then Canada. So there's over 10,000 alumni in Canada. And so this is a potential market for companies. So there's an incentive for companies to tap into this market. And I think there's also an incentive for alumni to sign up for this to get access. So I'm still in the early planning stages of this. I have some ideas. But I'm asking for a lot of chapter support in Canada because I don't know which businesses exist in, say, BC or Nova Scotia. But there are obviously nationwide companies. So I'm very interested in that. And I suppose there are also North American-wide companies. So there's probably some ability for us to coordinate on this. I know like Middlebury College, for example, offers the discounts we all heard. The tuition, and that applies to all international students. So there's a lot of room for collaboration between JETAA USA and JETAA Canada and other countries too, potentially. But I'm not sure still with this membership discount. I'm imagining some sort of registration where alumni will register. and I collect this information, and then I have to physically give them a card, or perhaps it's a QR code or an app. So if anybody has any ideas about how to make this process work more efficiently, I'm open to suggestions. If you're a coder, for example, and you're interested in making an app for me, that would be great. But this is a good way to collect information from alumni when they register for the card, and also get them involved in JETAA when they do this. So for example, maybe they have to come to an event physically to get the card. So this can increase the engagement, for example. And information is power these days. So as they register, maybe some information, demographic information, what their profession is, and things like that. So I really don't have too much to say. I know that we're low on time, but just an explanation for how JETAA Canada is structured. There are 7 different chapters, and Canada has all the same issues that I heard from many of you in terms of geographic problems. So you can imagine Canada is a very large country, and there's less alumni. So the geographical issues that you guys face for like your states are quite large. I understand that, but the provinces are even larger. So most of the population in Canada is along the border, 100 kilometers or a certain number of miles. But there are still massive geographical issues, and it's hard to bring the JET engagement from way up in the remote regions. But yeah, I'll just leave it there. That's all I have to say. Let me know. I suppose we don't have time for questions, but I'm around if you do have any questions. So thank you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Wow, so good to see so many familiar faces again. Yeah, we're having a great time, right? All right, persons online, good morning to you as well. All right, so for those who don't know, I'm the representative from Jamaica. I am Oret, okay? And just a quick overview of me. I am, all right, where's Lily? Trying to spot out, oh, great, right. So spent 2 years in Japan, right? In the wonderful prefecture, right, Lily? Of Ishikawa and the city of Nano, right? We're actually neighbors. Same time on the program. We started at the same time, we left the same time, right? And we live literally next door. And we went on so many wonderful adventures. And it was so great, you know, meeting up back with Lily here at this conference, right? All right. So, also, just to point out that Nano City is the sister city to Monterey City, right? So can you imagine that? And whilst we're in Nano, they had so many celebrations and cooperative activities with Monterey and so forth. So the sister city really worked wonders. All right, so since I returned from JET to Jamaica, I've been active with the JET Alumni Association in Jamaica and joined it in 2018. Served in other capacities, namely the treasurer, right? And I'm currently in my 2nd year as the president of this chapter. So the Jamaica chapter is a relatively small chapter. Overall, we have on average about 20 jets going up on the program from Jamaica each year. And it's a smaller percentage of that number that actually return, right, to Jamaica. All right, thank you. Let me adjust that. Just so that the online persons are not able to see me properly. All right. Okay. All right. So this presentation, I'm just going to keep it as straight to the point as possible. Just a quick overview of the JETAA Jamaica chapter, some of our activities, right? Some of the things that have worked for us over the period of time that we have been around, and some further initiatives we want to take going forward. Okay. The chapter is run by the executive, right, which is made up of myself as a president. We have a vice president, Tariq Brown. He would have attended the NatCon conference a few weeks ago, right? There's also the treasurer, right? We have a public relations officer and a secretary. So the five of us, we steer this chapter and drive the different activities and, ensure that things are kept running as smoothly as possible. All right, this is just a snapshot of a courtesy call we did on the current ambassador, right, of Japan in Jamaica, all right, His Excellency Yashushi Atsumi. This was done in May, and we did a courtesy call, which is done each year, right, just for us to meet with him, outline some of the plans that we want to do for the upcoming year and ways and means in which the embassy can assist us in Jamaica. And I must point out and give a lot of kudos to the Embassy of Japan in Jamaica, because throughout the years, they have always been giving us so much support and assistance in our activities, in our events, right? And without them, certain things that we want to do may not have been as smooth or even a success as it was. All right. Now, in terms of our history, Jamaica, we became a part of the JET program in the year 2000. All right. So we are currently in our 23rd year on this program. But the Alumni Association started in 2002, 2 years after the first JETs left for Japan and they returned to Jamaica. They just started the association. So last year, we had actually celebrated 20 years, our 20th anniversary for the association. And we tried to commemorate that in a number of events and activities, to make it as memorable and, as pointed out that it's really a significant milestone as possible. So officially, we have approximately a little over 100 members in the association. All right. And out of that 100 members, we have about 25 up to 30 active members, right? Which we are still grateful for, nevertheless, because over the 23-year history, we have about 400 or near that number of persons who have actually gone on that program. So it's not really a lot of persons from Jamaica have been on the JET program, but it's still good that we are able to have enough persons to have a decent association and have a number of activities being carried out. All right. So we try to really foster as much awareness, right, and different cultural exchange activities between Jamaicans, right, and Japanese persons who are there in Japan, because we try as much as possible to promote Japan, especially to persons in the tertiary institution, so that they are inspired, to want to go on this program or want to visit Japan in some other capacity or the other. So our activities just center all around that as much as possible, because unfortunately, I guess because of the geographical distance between Jamaica and Japan, but not many Jamaican students or even Jamaicans generally are interested in going so far to Japan. Everybody wants to go to either US or Canada, right? So we try over time to try and, change that and to sell Japan as much as possible. Right, definitely. Because we who have been on this program, we know of the benefits of this program and the wonderful personal growth that will take place, All right. Now, and our activities that we carry out, we actually do a number of collaborations with different entities and organizations that are somewhat related to Japan as well. All right. So we try to merge our activities. So some of the main institutions, organizations that we do activities with, yes, definitely the Embassy of Japan in Jamaica, right? There's also the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, JETAA, as well. They are centered around doing voluntary work and activities. And as often as possible, we team up with them and our members. We do joint activities, whether it be renovations of basic schools or engaging in cleaning up activities of certain areas in the country, right? Or just doing an expo, and we have our booth there to display, right, what we do and so forth. All right. Now, some of the main things that we do as an association, because we try to make it give as much variety to persons to kind of get them interested, get the members interested and to come out to the activities, right? We try to focus on having development workshops for our members. And we try to look from within our pool of members to see who can drive certain activities as well. And sometimes we do go outside and get guest persons to come in and present on certain topics that are relevant to our members as well. And we promote these as much as possible. All right, we're involving Japan Day activities in collaboration with the embassy. The screening of new jets, right? We play a big part in that, where it is our members who are on the panel, right, doing the interviews. We go through the applications initially to do the short listings as well. When it comes to the pre-orientation sessions and so forth, we lead out all of those for the new jets as well. We are there at the reception and so forth. So we try to build a connection with the new jets from before they depart for Japan, right? And even when they're in Japan, we have their contact information and we use it, emails, WhatsApp. We check up on them regularly because the aim is to try and get as many of them to return to Jamaica and to join the association, right? We are not yet seeing the fruits as it is, but we know that we just need to continue and eventually this will come up. There's also focus on coastal cleanup day because Jamaica is an island. We are surrounded by water all around and we have a lot of debris, garbage and so forth washing up. So each year we do an annual activity where there's a particular stretch of beach that we focus on cleaning up, right? And this one, for this year, it's actually scheduled for next Saturday as well. And we push this because we try to preserve our environment as much as possible, just as how it is in Japan, right? And of course, we have our annual picnics as well and a Bonenkai event. And we usually pretty much get a good turnout for these events as well, because it's one of the ways in which we, persons we haven't seen for a while, we can get to catch up on them and somehow try to get them to become more active and so forth. All right, and I just have some quick photos of some of the activities that we're doing. This was the collaboration activity, the most recent collaboration activity we did with JETAA, right, where we renovated a basic school and we really cleaned it up. This was back in February during Japan Day, right? We had a booth where we were able to have our members talk about the JET program to persons who were attending this Japan Day event and really try to sell the program to them, right? This was a pre-orientation session that we had, and we tried to make it as inspiring for the new persons as possible and create that connection with them, right, from the get-go as well, all right, and just share and pass on our information to them so that when they land in Japan, they'll be somewhat at an advantage in terms of adapting and adjusting based on the tips and the information we would have given them as previous persons that were there, All right. This was a send-off reception we had. Right, so each year, yes, we are there at this reception and we get to meet and greet the members and do a bit networking as well. All right. This was photos from last year's International Coastal Cleanup Day activities. All right, and we normally have staff from the Embassy of Japan joining with us as well and our members, and we're just there. Just, trying to just beautify the beach as much as possible. All right. And this picture right here, you can see the full turnout of persons that were there. So we usually get quite a number of support, a good support, right, for these events. All right. And this is our picnic for last year because we tried to replicate. All right. Thank you very much. You know, they say, boy, when you're having good time, time flies. So because time is flying, I have to assume it's a good time. Eh? All right. So yes. So in Jamaica, our replica for the cherry blossom tree is what we call the pui tree. Right. And what we do, we have an annual picnic on our pui tree, right, where we try to really relive our time and experiences in Japan, enjoying the Anami celebrations. All right. I'm just going to try and speed it up a little bit more, right? We also hold an annual Japanese essay competition in Jamaica as well. And we center this in the high school, right? And we try to start from that level as well to inspire, right, persons to, you know, be interested about Japan and want to learn more and do their research by this essay competition. And this was in February this year, and this was the awards ceremony as well. All right. Just running through some other photo highlights. All right. And this is just a snapshot of some of the personal development seminars that we have on an ongoing basis for our members, right? Some of these that I have include like financial fitness, social media strategies for members, because we want members to be more versed with being online and getting the benefits of online presentation. And this was a Japanese speech contest, which we had earlier this year, held at the university, right, as well. And, you know, we were able to get a lot of entries for that. And it was a good promotion activity as well. And we do a lot of recruitment, right? But it was mainly online, where we went into the different, we set up with the different tertiary institutions for virtual sessions about the program to their members. And this was one of them, right? But of course, now we'll be able to do more physical sessions as well. But the main focus from last year and earlier this year was just online, because it was just so easy and convenient, right? And this was our most recent activity, which were a part of the NatCon, which was held in August this year. And we're able to be at this conference and to present the JET program there and have a nice food and talk to persons who came to the NatCon there. All right. Okay. So in closing, what we're trying to do is that we're really trying to just have a variety of different events and activities, because the interest among the members is not as strong as we want it to be. And we try to just spice up what we do to stimulate their interest and try to just promote the activities as far ahead as possible, so persons can actually schedule it down and make their adjustments as possible. Okay. All right. And just to highlight that in 2009, we had hosted the JETAA International Conference in Jamaica, and we're hoping at some point in time in the future we can do that again. Okay. All right. All right. And some of you may see some of your previous jets that you were with in some of these photos. Eh? All right. All right. So the aim, as we said, to go forward is just to continue doing collaborative activities with the different organizations and institutions in Japan, so that I have a greater social media presence as well, and to actively recruit persons who are going abroad, so that when they come back, you know, we already have them directly to be a part of the organization as well. And a major project we are pushing to have is the establishment of a Japanese garden in Jamaica, because currently we don't have any like that. And we got the wife of the current Japanese ambassador as the main sponsor right now, and she's spearheading this project. And we hope within another year and a half thereabout, we have one established, and persons can actually go to this Japanese garden and really enjoy the benefits, you know, of such peace and tranquility, right? And be taken back like, reliving your experiences and your time back in Jamaica, okay? All right, so I just want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for listening to this presentation. And if there's any quick question, are there that? Sure. Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
We have to start this session. Yeah, in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we are very behind and we had to speak a little extra today as well. So I'm going to try to be very quick about this, but last year was the first time that we were able to give an award and acknowledge JETs who have made substantial contributions to our community. We decided to name it after Matt Gillam, who has stood by us and helped us for so many years. And it was really Valerie's idea to come up with an award in his name. So this is something that we do as JETAA USA specifically. This is our award. Last year, we gave it to Matt, the award's namesake. And we also gave it to Melissa Golden for her incredible help on our bylaws, which you'll get to learn about very shortly. But this year, we got to have a formal committee with JETs all across the US, including a Jamaican JET who helped. So it was a truly international effort to recognize somebody. And so this year, the person we would like to give this award to, we would like to acknowledge all of the incredible work they did with their chapter, the way their chapter has supported their outgoing JETs and provided ways of sort of engaging them and getting them ready for Japan and engaging them after they've gotten there. This chapter has presented many times, and it turns out this person has really been at the core of inspiring the rest of us to think about how we can do better to support our outgoing JETs. And so that's why this year, the Matthew Gillam Award for Dedicated Service will be awarded to Lynn Miyauchi.
Good. You can only see the top of my head. Hi, folks. Thank you. When Adam first contacted me, I'm like, are you sure? Simply because, I mean, this is a perfect example of being in the presence of something truly amazing. I mean, each and every one of you is inspirational to your chapters, to me personally. And I need to say the thank you, so I won't forget them. So I'll do that at the beginning. Thank you so much, JETAA USA, for this incredible honor. Thank you to the committee, and to have to give a shout out to Ryan Hart, who I'm sure many of you know. He's in our chapter and decided to, for some reason, nominate me. Also, thank you so much to all the folks at JETAANC who created this amazing program. Without you guys, this wouldn't have happened. And I know that just hearing my name in the same sentence with the famous Matt G is honor enough. But then to receive this award is truly special. I'm a little bit embarrassed because I like to kind of hang out in the background and support when I can and where I can. And I'm also so thrilled to be in the same space as my hero, Paige, over in the back. She is truly an inspiration to, I'm sure, all of us. But themes that were brought up at this convention just kept on hitting home for me. How we have to not think of life in a straight line, but all the squiggles. A little bit of background. I'll try to keep this short. I am, yes, Japanese American, so I have roots in Japan, but to my parents' surprise, maybe disappointment, I'm a Norwegian language and lit major. But that got me to Japan on the JET program, which then led to my becoming a JET Program Coordinator. And so being here is like coming home. I see so many faces. There's 2 former JET Program Coordinators I used to work with, Matt I used to work with, and my fellow delegate is actually one of the jets that I sent. So it's like, yes. And then after many, many, many long years, JETAA finally dragged me into a executive position. Like I said, I like to hang back, but please keep yourselves open and stay curious and stay hungry for finding new opportunities that are created by something that's so near and dear to all of us, the JET program. You can tell by my personal Gmail account how important JET is to my life, because my Gmail account is Zutto Jetto. So now you all can contact me anytime you want. But that pretty much sums it up in a nutshell, how important this program is to me. So I will humbly accept it on behalf of all of you who have helped me and everyone else who has helped me and put me in a position where I can serve and continue supporting JET Zutto Jetto until the end of my days.
So to those online, we're ending this session and you can join us in the other Zoom room.